Hi everyone, Gabrielle here, and today's practice is going to be Yin Yoga for the hips, and we'll be opening and stretching the hips in more ways than one. We'll hold the poses for about 3 minutes, and you may want to have a yoga blanket just to give some cushioning to your body. So let's get started. We're going to simply start in wide-legged child's pose. So widening the knees, bringing the big toes together, sitting on your heels, and you can work with your arms extended, bring the forehead down, or have your hands by your feet. See what feels good to your spine and to your shoulders. But otherwise, surrender, let go, keep your eyes closed. Take some nice deep breaths as you begin to empty your mind, empty your heart, and simply be here now in this moment. About another minute. Continue to breathe softly, gently. And continue to surrender to this moment. Inhale, go ahead, slowly rise up. Plant your hands down. Take a downward facing dog just to give your legs a nice stretch. And you can pedal your feet here, bending both knees. If it feels good to you at this time before we go into our next pose, our next yin pose. 3 more breaths. 2 and 1. Bring your knees down, step the right foot to the right thumb as we come into dragon pose, also known as low lunge. And you walk your left knee back, and then begin to lift yourself up, lift out of the hip. You don't want to sink into your hip. We have a very thin layer of fascia here at the hip crease, so we don't want to overstretch that or harm that. Don't want to go deep into the knee joint. And what we have here is two ways of opening up the hip. So the right hip is in flexion, and then the left hip is what's known as the position that's in an extension. So two different ways of opening the hips here. And you can keep your hands at your hips, interlace your hands at the top of your thigh, or you can bring your hands in prayer, or just allow the arms to drop down. And see what feels good for you. And as we hold this pose, you might start to develop some discomfort, so make little adjustments along the way, so long as you don't feel any pain or anything sharp or pinching. And you can keep your gaze straight ahead. If you want to keep your eyes closed, that's lovely to do as well. And the back toes, you can have them curled under or down. You can shift at any time. Just about another minute. And we'll take a nice downward facing dog and feel really, really nice. And you can feel all the warmth building up in this pose. I think that's why they call it dragon pose. Dragons release all that fire. A couple more breaths. And here we go. Hands come down. Downward facing dog. You can take a little dog split here if that feels nice. Lift and extend your leg, right leg, or bend. Or just bring it right back down. Take a few breaths here before we get ready for the other side. 3 more breaths. 2 and 1. Bring your knees down. And you might be tempted to do this from a dog split. That's very young, so we want to keep this yin. So bring the left foot to the left thumb and begin to rise up, making sure you're not sinking into the hips. Being mindful of that, not dropping down deep into the knee joint either. And the back toes can be curled under or down, foot down, whatever brings you more stability and comfort. And then once again, you choose where to place your hands that give you the support you need as you hold this pose. And it can change throughout the 3 minutes. You don't have to stay here for the entire time. Whatever works for you. And breathe here, most importantly, breathe. And really, really paying attention to the knee joints. This is a good time to use a yoga blanket if you are sensitive. Okay, you might start off okay, and then you might feel you need the extra support at some point. it together. Receive support and strength from that. Couple more breaths. Good, and then exhale, bring your hands down. Take another downward facing dog. You can go right into a dog split. Once again, shake your leg out, or just come to a very quiet, still downward facing dog pose if you'd like. Move in any way that you'd like. 3 more breaths. 2 and 1. We're going to bring our knees down, transitioning into our next yin pose, which is seated butterfly. So that's with the soles of the feet together, heels away from the body. You can hold on to your shins and sit very tall here. This might be your pose. If you want to come into a forward fold, you can do that as well. Hold on to the feet or support your head just like that. Or you can bring the heels of your hands to the forehead as you wrap your fingers over the crown of your head. That can be very quieting if you're finding the mind a little busy. And then you can go deeper as the body and the fascia begin to open. You can bring the arms and hands all the way down onto your back. And just create softness for yourself. Not just in the physical and external part of your body, but the internal. Less than a minute to go. Three more breaths. 2. Go ahead, rise up if you're in your forward fold. We're all going to come onto our backs. And you can windshield wipe your legs from side to side. Just go back and forth a few times. Move your head from side to side as well, if that feels nice. And where we're going next is supine cow face pose. So it's going to feel a little different from when you do it in a seated position. You'll feel different muscles getting stretched and your bones feeling a little different in your body. So coming to center, take the right leg and cross it over the left leg. And you can stay right here. Keep it very soft, keeping it very simple. Otherwise, you can lift your feet, lift your knees towards your chest. Grab a hold of your feet. Okay, and move the heels away from the body. And you'll feel a deep stretch. I feel it in my right gluteus muscle and just a little bit in the very top of my hamstring. Okay, moving a little from side to side. Or you can just keep your feet up in the air. Just relax the arms down, up to you. And you can shift and change your shape as we hold the pose. Okay. But eventually you just want to find a quiet place and let your body be still. And how still can you get your mind as you keep the external body still? Just a couple of breaths more here. And 2. And 1. And then undo your legs. You can go ahead and stretch your legs up towards the ceiling. Maybe lift the lower back and take a little supine Paschimottanasana. That can feel really nice. Widen the legs, maybe come into a wide V position. Which also happens to be a yin pose, but it can feel really nice. And we'll go right on to the other side. So taking the opposite leg now, crossing it over. So that's your left leg over the right. Again, you can keep the feet down or the knees lifted. And see what your arms and your hands would like to do. This side might feel very different, so honor your body, meet it where it's at this moment. And always work with your body, never against it. Keeping the ego in check. So we're just trying to improve our bodies, improve our lives, and not to create any more stress or unnecessary tension. That's what yoga is all about, or one of the many things that it's about. It's about so many things. Eventually find some stillness. Yin is a quiet practice, a still practice. breaths more here. Continuing to stay focused on the here and now. Five more breaths. And then you'll undo your legs. Go ahead and stretch them up towards the sky. You can hold on to your feet, widen the legs. That feels good. Any little intermission stretch that you'd like to do. We are going into Shavasana next. Okay, so the legs will extend out. And allow the palms to be open, chest open, collarbones wide. Noticing your hips and what feels different about them. And allow your eyes to close. Once again, being still, releasing any holding, and just letting the bones relax, the flesh around the bones to relax, and letting all the joints soften, especially your hips. And staying here as long as you'd like, and take care and be well. Thank you for joining me.